guys, this is Elba with Broken Journey, the podcast, a podcast that talks about broken journeys in life as well as other bonus topics along the way. My hope is that by listening to these testimonies, they will give you the courage to overcome your own broken journey. Let's create a masterpiece from our broken pieces and create wonderful memories. Our podcast is available on major platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, and much more. Sit back, relax, and enjoy this next episode. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at brokenjourney_the podcast. Bye, guys. Hey guys, welcome back to Broken Journey, the podcast. I am your host, Elba Rivera. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that your day has been going well so far. Today is going to be a fun, light episode, and I thought about sharing this with my audience because it has become a tradition in my family. We've been doing this tradition, I'm going to say, for about 10 years now, and it is something that we've decided to do to break the stress from the holiday season. So, think about it. We are in October, and in October starts the holiday season, right? And I know many people don't celebrate Halloween. However, there is November, which is Thanksgiving, and then after Thanksgiving, there is Christmas and New Year's. So, the holidays have become so commercialized, and everything is based off of going shopping, purchasing things, and doing all these other things that we tend to forget what the holiday season really is, right? And that's spending time with your family. But needless to say, we still go shopping, we still buy stuff, we still give gifts, But most importantly, it's about creating memories. And that's what we decided to do when we created Girls' Night Out. And this is something, again, that I'm going to say about 10 years. I think it's been 10 years. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, we've decided in our family to just take some time in between all the holidays. Well, not all the holidays, right? But between these 3 months and break the monotony of, going shopping and doing all this other stuff. So we created Girls' Night Out. And it first started with just the female family members. And then here and there, every other year, we'll invite extra people so that they can come and enjoy, these things with us. And, again, break the stress. Now, I know I might have some male audience in here. And I just want to say, you guys can create something similar, right? I can't tell you what to do because I'm not a guy and I don't know what really, things guys do besides watch football, baseball, whatever the case may be. But anyway, you guys can create a whole similar thing as Guys' Night Out, the same way we create the Girls' Night Out. So the first thing I'm going to do is kind of give you some tips on Girls' Night Out. And guys, you can implement some of this stuff too because anybody can play games, right? Anyway, so the first thing is for the Girls' Night Out is all female family members. And if you are away from your family members, then all females, you're really close friends, right? And again, it is a small group we don't have a large group of people because we want it to be very intimate. So the max amount of people we invite is 15. And again, my family, we probably like 10, so 5 extra people that we invite. 5 or 6 extra people, right? But anyway, we try to keep the group as small as possible because it's all about an intimate time of reflecting on things in our lives and appreciating things and stuff like that. So that's the first thing, your group. Who are you going to invite? And you don't always have to invite the same people besides your family members, right? Because that's the whole purpose, is being there with your family members. And if you guys are alone in your state or in your city, maybe do something within your family, your immediate family, your brother, your sister, or, the husband, the wife, and the kids, right? Because again, there's a lot of stress behind the holiday season. So I'm going to go into the tips for the girls' night out. So the first one is games. What games do you want to play with your girls? The activities, you should pick about 3 or 4 activities. And here are some ideas that, we do during the girls' night. They changed often. And again, Google is your best friend. You can go to Google, you can go to Pinterest, you can go to TikTok, you can go to Instagram, you can go to Facebook, any one of those social medias if you have social media. And if you don't have social media, Google, again, is your best friend. You can just Google family fun night games and a whole bunch will pop up. You can even go to YouTube and see, the games. But this is something that we do a lot of. And again, we switch them up every year and we change most of them. But one of them that we don't change is the Saran Wrap game. Now, another thing before I get into the games is hosting. There is always someone different hosting every year. So that's one thing that, I want to recommend because, some people don't like to host and that's okay. And if they're not willing to host, then that's fine. Then, you can have it at your house or your cousin's house or whatever the case may be. But the whole point is switching out the hostesses every year and making it simple and pleasant for everybody, right? So the first game that I have is the Saran Wrap game. Now, this is a game where you take a roll of Saran Wrap and you put a whole bunch of different items in the Saran Wrap and you wrap it every couple of rounds. Like, let's say for us, we do a lot of candy and then we add maybe like a gift card, a $5 gift card to, any eatery that's close by or Starbucks or, Walmart or something, just something very simple. You don't have to do a gift card. Like I said, we do it just for the fun of it. And because, if we can, we will. Again, so you're taking every item and you're wrapping it in the Saran Wrap until you make a big ball of Saran Wrap. And every certain amount of turns in the Saran Wrap, you put, like, let's say you put a piece of chocolate, you wrap it 3 or 4 times. And then you take another chocolate and you wrap it 3 or 4 times. And then you take a lollipop and you wrap it 3 or 4 times. You get the gist, right, of what I'm saying. Until you finish that Saran Wrap. Now, somebody probably saying, oh my God, that's so expensive. Oh my God, that's a waste of thing, blah, blah, blah. Listen, go to the dollar store and get one for $1.25 because the real Saran Wrap costs about $6 or $7. So get the dollar store one, okay? It works the same. So once you have that ball, what you are going to do is the day of the party, you are going to get a dice and you're going to have them roll a dice so that they can get a 6. The first person that gets a 6 will start unwrapping that saran wrap. Now, some people use cooking mitts or gloves or something like that so that they are not unwrapping it very quickly. And then you go on from there. The next person, while that person is unwrapping, the person that's to their left will start throwing the dice until they get a 6. Once they get a 6, the saran wrap ball goes to the next person, so on and so forth until you get to the bottom of the saran wrap, right? And the last person gets their prize. So that's game number 1. Game number 2, this is a team up challenge, right? This is something that you have to have 2 people in order for you to play the game. This one is one person holds a cup. It can be a solo cup. It can be a plastic cup from your kitchen, whatever the case may be. And then another person will have a ball of either golf balls, or I think in the dollar store you can also get a few of those golf balls and maybe get 2 packs. I think each pack has 6 in them. And so the whole object of the game is for you to have a 6-foot distance between the other person. And so one person is throwing the ball to make sure it gets into the cup. And then there has to be somebody, and mainly it's the hostess, because the hostess really doesn't play this game. Well, sometimes they'll play the game, depending if there's an odd number, then the hostess can stay out and, do the scoring. And so one person has to do the scoring, and then the 2 people have to throw the ball, and they have 1 minute to make sure that they get as many balls as they can into that cup. So that's game number 2. Game number 3, this one is so funny. This is another one that somebody's going to say we're wasting cookies. But it's okay. It is okay. We probably waste 1 roll out of the whole pack of Oreos. So you're going to get either a pack of golden Oreos or a pack of the chocolate Oreos, and you're going to have 2 people together. This also is a team game, right? And it doesn't necessarily have to be a team. I don't remember. We've always had like enough people, but it doesn't necessarily have to be that way. Anyway, so this has to be visual. So kind of close your eyes if you're not driving. Close your eyes and think about putting an Oreo cookie on your eye. And then you have to tilt your head back and be able to do facial movements so that that cookie can go to your mouth. So you have to be able to, the object of the game, it's kind of hard to describe on audio, but the object of the game is for you to move that cookie far enough without letting it fall and getting it to your mouth, right? So if the cookie falls off your face, then you need to start all over again. And actually, the cookie's not supposed to be in your eye. It's supposed to be at the top of your forehead. I'm sorry, not the eye. Boy. Anyway, the cookie is supposed to be on the forehead, not the eye. You got to bring it down little by little into your mouth. So let's scratch the other stuff that I just said, okay? It has to be on the forehead and then start going down with your facial expressions to get to your mouth. Okay, game number 4. This one is called Punch a Hole Hole, not hole, Hole, a hole. Okay, so this one is something that you can get from the dollar store. Everything you can get. Um I think I spent $15 on this. I don't remember the complete details, but I did this last year and I think the max that I spent on this was $15. So I got a foam board. I got 2 packs of the solo cups, the 16-ounce solo cups. And then I got rubber bands. I got actually I got green tissue paper. Sometimes they have green tissue paper in the dollar store. If they don't, just get white, get red, whatever you want. Basically, you want it to kind of go with the theme of Christmas, right? So red, green, or white is fine. And then you get the red solo cups. And then get items to fill those cups. I got 2 bags of candy, of chocolate, and then 1 bag of non-chocolate candy, right? And then I got some lip glosses from the dollar store, like Blistex or Carmax. And I got these little travel size items that you can get again from the dollar store, nothing major. And then I jumped it up a notch. This is not necessary, but I got a few dollar scratch off that, you can add in there. 5 max if you want. This is not mandatory. The other ones are, the chocolates and the little travel size items is good enough. Anyway, so what you're going to do is you're going to take the foam board and you're going to design the cups to look like a triangle, basically being like a Christmas tree. And once you have everything, first things first. Look, put it on the foam board and make sure it looks like a Christmas tree before you glue it. And don't forget the glue, because I forgot to add that on the list. You need glue. So you can either get, the glue gun, or you can get Elmer's glue and let it sit overnight. So what I did was I took and I put all the items, I put shredded paper and I put them in the cups once I glued the cups down. I glued the cups down. The next day I went and I put a little bit of shredded paper, which you can also get at the dollar store. This is not mandatory. This is optional. And then I started filling up the cups with the items that I wanted to put in there. Once those cups were filled, then I took the tissue paper and I cut out enough to cover the cups and overlay a little bit. And then I put the rubber band to hold the tissue. Then the day of the party, what I did was I got I did a toothpick. Not a toothpick, I'm sorry. I did a skewer sticks. I was going to say pinchos because being the Latina that I am, my Spanglish kicked in first. And it was like pincho sticks. And I'm trying to say, it's just to get it to say skewers. It took me a minute, okay? Just saying. Anyway, you can take that, or you can take a fork, or you could take a spoon, whatever it is that you need to be able to break that tissue. And then that's another thing. The same dice that you used for that game, the saran wrap game, you can use it as well for the punch a hole. Or you can take numbers, like let's say there's 15 cups, right? You can take those numbers, put them in a cup and crunch it up and let everybody pick a number. And once they pick a number, then that's when it's their turn. They get to pick, punch a hole or whatever the case may be. And if there's extras, then let them keep going until they get the prize. So that's that. That's some tips with games. Second thing you can do, if you don't want to go through all that process of all those games and preparing them and getting them ready, you can do a craft night. You can do a painting project. You can do a candle holder project from the dollar store, or you can do a DIY wreath project or DIY table centerpiece. You can get so many ideas from doing these little projects at the dollar store. And this is something that you can decorate your home every year, if you want to, for Christmas, right? And here are some YouTubers that I have used to create, inexpensive little designs for Christmas. The first girl, I love her so much. She has so many ideas. Her name is Jay Money, and it's spelled Jay, and then money is spelled it's spelled MUN like in Nancy, EE, Jay Money. And then I also follow She's So Crafty. Now, instead of crafty, CRAFTY, it's CRAFDEE. And then you can also follow Crafts by Caitlin, KATELYN. And you can make it into a craft day. There's nothing wrong with that. And everyone should be able to bring their own products, right? Their own supplies. So if you are going to be the host and you want to do craft day, I would send everybody a list of things that they will need for those craft days, for that craft day, right? So that way they can get it on time. And my suggestion is give them at least 30 days because everybody has bills to pay. Okay? And everybody got other things going on that they just can't pop up and do stuff, last minute. And I'm one that I hate when people give me stuff last minute. I hate it. Anyway, I digress. That's a whole nother story. Another thing I wanted to mention is food. So what we do is we do potluck for this event. We have a main dish, we have dessert, and we have beverages, non-alcoholic. If you want to bring alcoholic beverages, then you're on your own. You bring your own beverage, your alcoholic beverage, right? But for the most part, we suggest that you make enough for a certain amount of people. I mean, for everybody, not just for a certain amount of people. When you are doing your dish, make sure at least it covers for one serving of each person that's going to be there. So let's say there's 15 people. I would suggest making a little extra, just because some people may take more than others, right? But not to overdo it that there's leftovers, because nobody wants leftovers. Well, maybe they do, but I know me, I don't want anything in my refrigerator once everybody's gone. I want it to be clean. So yeah, and just ask everybody, hey, what is an idea that you're going to bring? What kind of dish are you going to bring? Are you going to bring a dessert, or are you going to bring a meal kind of deal? Right? And so we've had where we made, meatballs and, I guess little dinner rolls to go with the meatballs. And then we had, kielbasa sausages. And then other times we've had, pastelillos, which there's controversy of pastelillos and empanadas. But anyway, these are dough-filled meat. For those who are not Hispanic, you get these little pastry doughs and you make ground meat and you put it in there. And then you cook it, you fry it. And then we have, areas where, we made little individual cheesecakes, or one big cheesecake and slice it up, or cupcakes, or, little candy bags or whatever. We've done so many different things that, the ideas of doing a whole bunch of different, things. You can do so many things when it comes to meal. Again, you want to think about, the people that you are inviting, right? Also be cautious because some people are allergic to things. So you want to make sure if anybody that you are inviting that are not family members, ask them if they have any allergies or anything, that will hinder their health, right? And then again, the beverages, it's either water, some people like soda and juice or whatever the case may be. Just have some of those things available. And, if you guys want to do mimosa only, then, you guys chip in together and get the orange juice, the cranberry juice, the pineapple juice, and the Prosecco, and whatever it is that you need to do the mimosas, right? So that's another idea. And then we have another option that we don't do every year. Some of our hostesses don't want to do it, which is fine. We do an option of a $10 or less gift. And so we will wrap it and put it in a gift bag. And again, we will draw numbers and everybody will pick. These gifts will not have any names on them. These will be a $10 or less gift, and people can choose whichever gift they want. And this can be a candle, a small candle that's $5.99. Febreze has very good candles. It can be a hand cream or a small perfume from Bath and Body Works, or it can be a body lotion, or it can be a gift card, with some chocolate in the bag. It can be, or candy in the bag. It kind of depends. Kind of get a little, how do you say that? Get creative, basically, right? Get creative with what you want to do. And, again, you can, if you are crafty, do something very crafty. I'm sure that there's going to be somebody who is going to want a crafty gift. And when you do it from the heart, they're going to love it. Again, if you have Cricut, if you have, the, whatever those vinyl things that make that you can make stuff, or you can paint something. Again, it's all about the fun. Do something that is $10 or less. And again, this is optional. You don't have to do this at this event, or you can switch it up and do it and not do the saran wrap game, which, is a little different than what, the gifts are. And last, I just want to say, this is the most important thing. The most important thing is to have fun and enjoy each other's company and create fun memories that is going to change the scenery for that day before Christmas. So again, like I said, do it right before Christmas and after Thanksgiving, because this will alleviate a lot of stress. And I hope that these tips help you do something different in your family and create new traditions. And again, like I said, the guys can do this too. They can go ahead and do, domino night, and, or go out in the town and have a drink, or, go chill, all the guys together can go to a football game, or they can go see a football game at, a lounge or something like that. Just do something to relieve some of the stress. Again, guys, this is my tip for girls' night. You can also do men's night with your family. And know, again, that is the most important thing behind this, is to de-stress and create memories. Well, that is it, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. And if you like this episode, please share it with your friends. It would mean the world to me. Have a good day, guys. Bye.